live.
And welcome back to the Nub. I'm the Merce.
Hey, it's Phil.
And we're going to talk about some crazy stuff today. So how was your Halloween there, Felton?
Well, it actually ended up being pretty good. I felt like absolute garbage. I've been fighting off this funk for like a week. And then you called me and woke me up from some fever dreams. And, got to get trick-or-treated by you and your boy. Full-size candy bar all the way.
Nope.
Then I threw my Ghostbuster stuff on. We walked around, and that was the extent of my Halloween.
Good times, yeah. FoxxTale herself has been sick, so she was not able to go trick-or-treat with us, but me and Logan went around all over the places, got all the candies, and had a good time. Like, he's been talking about it for like 2 weeks now, so finally felt good to be like, all right, we're trick-or-treating now, stop talking about it.
That's awesome.
But yeah, it was good times. So I have... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to say, did he say anything about my sister's outfit, the Triceratops?
That was your sister in the Triceratops. Okay. Yeah. So I didn't know who was in there, but it was a friggin' fantastic costume. So for those of you listening, basically it was a giant inflatable Triceratops. I mean, the thing was big. Like it was tall and like long, and I guess it had like wheels on the back end, so you just had to walk the front end, right?
Yeah, it was just.
If I'm not mistaken, there's only just your sister in there, right?
Yeah, just a big old inflatable Triceratops.
Oh man, it was fantastic. Yeah, I loved it. He didn't say much about it, to be quite honest, but I mean, for those that don't know, my son's autistic, so he'll comment on things sometimes, and other times he just kind of keeps it to himself. So he'll either be really rude or really.
I didn't know if he would have remarked on it or not. That's why I was curious.
No. So I got a couple of big news announcements. If you're ready, are you ready for some big news announcements?
I'm ready. I don't know if the audience is.
Well, all 10 of them ought to be ready for this.
Okay.
So first off, FoxxTale, one of our admins and my fiance, won a Spacey Award this last weekend. So very excited for that. She got it for her SFX makeup. And I just couldn't be proud of her. You've heard of the Spaceys, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So for those of you who don't know what the Spaceys are, it's a local award show that recognizes local talent. So there was like a best indie comic writer, best social media provider, best indie character, best indie novelist, makeup artist, cosplay, that whole thing, right? So Dee won out in that, and we were very excited for her. She also was talking to Jake Estrada, who runs the show. Him and David, and I can never remember the guy's last name, and I feel really bad, really bad. I'm gonna have to write it down next time. But so they run the Indie Award or the Spacey Awards. I'm sorry, and they are going to be doing another movie called The Human Virus. And so she was talking to Jake about doing makeup on that too. So
that's awesome.
She's gonna be busy coming up here shortly. Let's see. And it seemed to light a fire underneath her, because now, like right after that, she's probably done like 5 or 6 more looks that she's been posting on Facebook lately, even though she's been sick. So
yeah, I saw that. Like she was going turbo.
Yeah. Yep. She did the Chucky from Child's Play, which was awesome. And then a couple more like homemade kind of characters, so that was pretty cool. Some of the people I want to recognize as winners from the Spacey Awards, and it was held at the Rubik's. I know how much you love the Rubik's. You couldn't make it out though because you were sick on us, right?
Yeah, it's just, dude, I have no idea. I kind of figure I know what's wrong is my diet's gone to crap since I've. For those of you who don't know, I'm back on midnight shift, so that's great. Mm-hmm. But I feel like my diet's been just kind of a huge part of it. So hopefully I've changed that today.
I mean, if you're just eating straight pig fat all day, I mean, typically that does mess up your diet. So
wait, you're not supposed to do that?
All right, so best indie comic book was The Rejected. It beat out Broke Down in Four Dead Bodies, which is actually one of my favorite indie books by Travis Gibb. I have not read The Rejected yet, so I don't know what it's about, but congratulations on that. Best indie comic book writer was Anthony Zakari. Best indie cover artist, and this is a guy that I really want to work with sometime soon. Dominic M. Perazzi, the junior, I guess just junior. Um, let's see. Indie interior artist for comic books, Terrence Baker. I have not met Terrence yet, but I've been following him for a while. He's a really good artist, really cool guy from what I can see. So then we've got best social media provider. I was very surprised by this and happy to see this too. Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. I don't know if you've listened to that a couple times, but
I've met him a few times.
yeah, Christian, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice guy.
cool guy. Yeah, really nice guy. Like very, happy, go lucky, very nice guy. So congratulations to him. Best indie character was Die Kitty Die. Best indie novelist was Stan Kanapika. Kanapika? I'm really butchering these names. I apologize. Best indie makeup and effects, of course, was Miss Donna Birchman, aka FoxxTale from the Nub. Best indie cosplayer, Lauren Edinger. And best indie actor was Brad Bradley, our good friend from Old Guy Cosplay. Great friend of the show, great cosplayer too, for that matter. And when we did our first and only so far Nerds United meetup, he was one of our judges for the cosplay contest, if you remember correctly.
Yes.
So, very, congratulations to you guys. Wish you all the best. Can't wait to see more work from you guys. Good stuff. Another kind of thing. Now, this is a personal thing, and I kind of feel bad announcing it here on the Nub, but at the same time, it's something I'm very excited about. And if people don't want to hear about it as it gets closer and stuff like that, just let us know, and I won't talk about it because I'm one of those people. I just hate to hear people, constantly promote themselves, but at the same time, I want them to because I want to know about their product. If that makes any sense at all. So my book, The Savage Bastards, is coming out in February, and we posted on the Nub like a first look news article about it, and I've been posting about it and stuff like that. So very excited about that coming up. It's basically the story of two long lost brothers who are the product of an evil father who are on a mission to basically shut down his whole organization. It's a Western with a little bit of a fantasy flair, nothing too crazy, there's no elves or anything like that in it, although that would be kind of cool. And it's got a lot of the typical Western tropes mixed with that little bit of fantasy. So I'm hoping that people dig it. I'm hoping people like it. And I know that all the local comic book stores so far, except for I haven't talked to Kingdoms of Comics yet, but all the other ones are going to be carrying it. So I'll probably be doing signings at their facilities. So anybody that buys the book, I will sign it, for absolutely nothing, just so I can meet you and sign it and, try to persuade you into buying the next 4. So that's coming out from Mad Cave Studios. If you're not local, you could always go to your comic book stores, and it'll be available for order through Diamond, I believe, next month, but I'm not 100%. But keep listening, and as long as nobody tells me to shut up about it, I will keep telling you guys.
I was hearing about it. You don't hear that from me.
Yeah, but you're my friend, so. It's like your parents. They're always proud of you. They're just like they want to know everything about it. But I can understand if there are people that aren't cool about it. I'll try to keep it to a minimum and not talk about it every single chance I get. But I probably will talk about it every single chance I get. So yeah, that's that. You got any video gaming news for us there, Mr. Felton?
Well, I got a couple of things.
Okay.
I've been following this game, The Outer Worlds. It's a new single-player, first-person sci-fi RPG from Obsidian Entertainment. Basically, it's Fallout in space. To give it a brief synopsis of my own words, not just reading off of Metacritic. But right now,
and these are real quick. These are the same people that the same people that did Vegas, right? New Vegas.
I don't know.
I believe they are.
Well, yeah, it's Obsidian Entertainment and Private Division. So I don't remember either of those being involved in Vegas. But if it is,
I could be wrong, but I think that.
Vegas.
Yeah, I think there was a lot of people saying that because you liked New Vegas, there's a strong possibility you like this. It's the same creators, and they're hoping they bring that same kind of passion to this work. So we'll see.
Yeah, whatever. I'm all about it.
But I'm sorry. Continue.
Oh, anyway, my stake in it at this point, because I haven't tried it, haven't started it. I have to finish Disco Elysium, which I suggest everybody go pick up. Great narrative story. and Borderlands 3. Problem being is I might never actually finish Borderlands 3 because there's always better loot to get. So we'll see what happens there. But right now, Metacritic has a Metascore of 81. Now, I guess, depending on your politics with video game journalism, you might say, hey, whatever, that's, stupid. But the user score right now is at 7.9. So,
okay.
I think both the critic score and the user score are really high. From all of the pregame stuff that we've seen that's been released, a lot of the YouTubers that have gotten early access, I don't know, I'm pretty excited about it. The problem is I feel like some of these games are geared toward people that I don't know, don't work 60 hours a week. So and I'm being conservative here, I probably put 300 hours into New Vegas. And the expansions and whatever. There were expansions. Yeah, there were expansions for New Vegas.
A couple, yeah.
But Lonesome Road, I think, and the other ones. But man, I have such a hard time getting into these gigantic sprawling games as I get older. I don't know about you, but I don't have the time to dedicate to it. I find that's the opposite. I used to love big, long, in-depth games when I was younger, and now I'm just like, hey, give me that 30-hour campaign so I can get through it.
And honestly, that's how it is now that we're adults, and an adult our age, who has the time to play those very big, long games, either doesn't have much of a secondary life or a main life, I guess.
You don't have much of a main story plot. You don't have much main storyline.
Yeah, and that's not knocking anybody. If that's how you choose to spend your time and things like that, your energy and your money, that's perfectly fine. I'm not knocking people that are our age that can play those games consistently. But for people like you and me, I've discussed this many times on the podcast. I am a huge fan of the Switch because I can take it with me everywhere. And with how busy I am with my job and writing and my son and things like that, it's nice to just be able to have something that's got the power of a console that I can play pretty much anywhere. I play it on the toilet. I'll play it, waiting for my son in therapy. I play it, at work sometimes. Like whenever I've got some free time that I'm not doing something, I can sit down and play it, and I love that. I love that fact. I would love to play more games on my consoles or the PC, especially the longer games, but I just don't have the time for it these days.
I wish there was a rating metric for that. Like if they actually had this, how does this game rate for your social obligations? Oh, Borderlands 3 is a 4 out of 10 for social obligations, for getting the most enjoyment out of the game, because Borderlands 2 is massive, and I'm getting the picture that Borderlands 3 is probably just as big, if not bigger, in scale. So it sucks when these games come out right next to each other, because Disco Elysium was one I had heard about and, was going to check out, but now I've got all these games plus my social obligations. Obviously, my social obligations, family's more important than, getting a better legendary. But therein lies the problem. That's, so being at a responsible.
And that's actually an interesting segue, because, speaking of social obligations, so this year we want to try to do these nerd tours that we're talking about, correct?
Yes.
Where we go to different locations and we host kind of a get-together for the nubs, and the locations themselves will do giveaways, and they'll do discounts and all kinds of cool, fun things. Just get as many people in as possible and have a good time, right? So that's gonna cut into some of that time. And yeah. There was something else I was going to say about that, and I totally lost my train of thought. So instead of holding up the podcast, we'll just move into another big announcement that we have. And I want to apologize to our listeners. Triple B was not able to make it onto the show today. He had some obligations.
He had some adult obligations. I got our Kickstarter covered today, and I think you're going to like this.
Okay, and I actually have some bad news about the Kickstarter, but becoming the dogcaster, so let's pause for a second.
Yeah. Hold on. There we go.
And we're back?
Yep.
All right. So, all right, some other big news that we have is that we are going to be partnering with Hanging with Web Show to try to get some more viewage and things like that. So we're kind of changing the format of how we do our podcast now. So the first podcast that we cast each week will be on our normal page, and then the second one will be actually an exclusive for Hanging with Web Show that will feature on their page, and then eventually we'll bring it over to our page. But starting out, it'll there'll be just exclusives on the Hanging with Web Show. So you can hear us there, or you could hear us here. However you hear us, just listen, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. You know, we're just trying to get more viewers, more listeners, more whatever to have a good time. So yeah, that's the other big news I have coming up as far as that's concerned. And you said that you had the Kickstarter covered this podcast.
Okay.
But real quick before you do that, I'm sorry. I've got some bad news. So Granny Golem did not get funded.
No.
Yeah, I know. I Kickstarted it too. I was kind of disappointed, but that's okay. I contacted the person running the Kickstarter. She says that they are going to try doing it again after the holidays when people have a little more expendable income. Mm-hmm. So we will be letting you guys know. I definitely will be Kickstarting it again because it's just a great idea. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Go ahead, bud.
I thought the artwork was so adorable on that.
Mm-hmm. The idea was interesting too. So.
And I mean, the artist's name, CJ Pendragon, that's just pretty cool. I mean, I don't know. There's just a lot of good about it.
Especially if they're born that way.
All right, are you ready for this? I don't mean to sound like so excited trying to cut you off about this, but the Kickstarter crap, okay? And this got funded, 596 backers, $100,000 goal. They're up to $170,000 on this. It's called The Last Game Board.
The Last Game Board, okay.
It is
Drop it on me.
It is a digital game board. Oh, God, the audio. So it's a digital game board that you can manipulate and use, and it has your, I mean, it'd be easier if you could watch the video. But basically you move the characters around on it, and the D&D game will track, you know, where everything is, and it just looks incredible. Like, just having... I
think I've seen what you're talking about.
Okay.
Because it's not just D&D, right? It's also board games and stuff like that.
There's you know, multiple things, and you can extend it. I don't know. The demo shows 4 screens, but I'm sure maybe there's a possibility of more. But I'm thinking like this is going to be something that is going to, I don't want to say like bridge the gap, but I think this is something that is going to be able to bring more people in to games like D&D, because now you have the game board that's doing a lot of the visual processing for you, you know, and I don't know, I'm really excited about this. I think this is going to be something that might be I don't want to say revolutionary, but I think it's something that might, you know, be a game changer for you know, board gaming.
Yeah, I've seen this. I think I know what you're talking about. I'm extremely excited about it. I'm a big fan of anything that helps the DM or game master in general. You know, so yeah, you post the link on the page here, right? On the
chat
Discord, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, I'm excited about it. It looks cool as hell. Yeah, I definitely look forward to that. Did you have any other Kickstarter stuff?
That was it. I just I was digging through and just kind of perusing the internet, and I found that and just kind of started reading about it, and I was trying not to pull a triple B and you know, pledge a bunch of money toward it.
And get into a divorce or get into a breakup with your fiance and all that good stuff.
Well, just my whole take on it was I love the idea of, like, you know, having multiple people in your gaming group, and almost like you would have the LAN party back in the day. You would bring your piece of the game board to you know, game night and connect it all together, and have, a big panel to play on. I mean, this just I don't know why I'm so excited about this thing. I just learned about it the other day, and I have all these fantasies about how much fun it's going to be. Like, this is going to make gaming great again.
I'll have to look and see if I have the money to. I'll have to look and see if I have the money to pledge that.
Social gaming.
Speaking of which, we have our first D&D night tonight for our new group. So recently we created a new gaming group that I think is a very solid one. We'll be able to get a lot of different kind of gaming done. A lot of the board games that I have, all that kind of stuff. So I'm very excited about that, and I think that we'll be able to do a nice long campaign. As far as the D&D is concerned, so I'm pretty excited about all that. But yeah, so that's pretty much the current event stuff, right?
I think we pretty much covered, all the topical stuff that's going on right now in the nerd world.
Good, because I want to save a lot. I want to save some more of my stuff for the next podcast, for the Hanging with Web Show exclusive. So people want to listen to that one. Where are we at time-wise?
We are at 6 minutes into this episode, and this half of the episode, because we did have a dog-related incident. And hold on, I can pull up the other part here in a second. But I think we're pretty much coming up on time.
Okay. So I've got my die ready here. It's just you and me.
Let me see. So that was 15 minutes. So what's 15 plus 6? 21 minutes.
Oh, we still got some. Oh, we still got a little bit of time, actually.
Yeah.
Before we do that, then, let me just throw out there real quick. I swear to God, I'm becoming like a spokesperson for Mad Caves, and I know that I'm excited because they hired me to write a comic book for them. But they are putting out some really interesting comics, and I haven't had a chance to read this one. I just picked it up. It's called Wolvenheart. I got the first one. And from what I understand, he's a kind of like a monster hunter of some sort, but there's also like a time travel element to it. So I'm excited to check this out. But the art just looks amazing. For a indie company, they are putting out some really just killer looking books, and I'm really excited about it. So if you guys get a chance, I think they have a couple of them at Famous Faces and Funnies. 9.9 Comics, I think, picks up some Mad Caves as well, and the same with Infinite Mushroom. So if you want to check out those. Plus, Mad Cave goes through Diamond, so even if they don't have the book in-house that you're looking for, they can always order it through Diamond. So keep that in mind. With that, I think we can go ahead and close this one out, and we'll do the Die of Destiny. And I believe that it's your turn to roll the Die of Destiny, if I'm not mistaken, without Triple B here.
All right, going to Google D20.
Okay.
And we're going to hit roll. All right. Did you want to roll now?
No, we don't have anybody to add to it, so.
Oh, okay. Well, I got a 5 then.
Okay, so nothing happens this time then. And we'll close this one out. Thank you guys for listening. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, check out the Hanging with Web Show, and look for our podcast to be coming on there. As they're going to do a playlist with our back catalog of podcasts, but we're also going to do the exclusive, so we can do some exclusive content on their page. So check them out, and we'll go from there. It's good seeing you guys. It's good having you guys listen. I'm the Merce.
Hey, it's me.
And we'll catch you guys in the next one.